so you're probably wondering what's going on? Why is your hair wet? This is a very different intro than we're used to. Also, I haven't made a video in a while, so I'm back, but I have a super exciting product today to review and I'm so excited. It is by the brand Luxx. So today we are going to be reviewing their Air Pro 2, which first of all, this packaging is so pretty. I don't want to take this off. There's like a little bit of a sticker thing guy on there, but I don't want to take it off because I want it to stay nice. So let's open it up. So it has this nice, it feels like leather, it's probably like a patent leather packaging. Then whoop, this just slipped out, but there's this. When you open it up, it has the tool. It was wrapped in plastic, but I did take that off. And then you also have the curling barrels, which are longer barrels, which I love. I love a longer barrel. Underneath, you have a brush tool. So this is like a smaller brush that you could use for more of like a blowout look. It also has like this really pretty copper golden color, which I love that. I just feel like this looks so sleek and nice. I like it a lot. They have the hair dryer, which it looks like the Dyson from the front, and then it seems that this is where the air comes out at the back. Then you also have the brush, which is used for straightening the hair. So you have quite a few tools. I feel like it's very comparable to the Dyson off the bat of like what they have. I have used the Dyson. My mom owns the Dyson Airwrap, so when I'm in town I have used it, and hers has the shorter barrels. I did really love how my hair turned out, but I just couldn't justify the price point. Like, I think it's anywhere from between like $500 to $700, and if you are getting the longer barrel attachment, I believe you have to get them separate. I'm not totally sure, but it was just a price point that I was like, I can't justify spending that. That is so much money on one hair tool. Like, and you are getting a few, but this one, Luxx did send to me, but this one, let's see, I'm on their site right now. This one is $299, so $300, which I feel like is a much more manageable price point than the other, because if you think about it, you are getting your hair dryer, your curling iron, a straightener, and a blowout style thing. So that's 4 tools for $300, and I feel like the average hair tool, especially high-end, is gonna average around $100. So each of these is gonna average to about this. So I feel like it's a really good deal. So we're gonna try it today. So what I use to wash my hair are the Bondi Boost Rapid Repair shampoo and conditioner. This is awesome, especially if you have dry, brittle hair or bleached hair. This is incredible. Especially if you use purple shampoo. Purple shampoo is always so drying, at least on my hair. So this like helps like bring back the moisture that like you miss from that. Okay, so for my prep, this is what I'm gonna be using. I know some people won't use anything, but I'm like, I always prep my hair with something, and I feel like that is going to give this the most fair review. It's the Living Proof Perfect Hair Day 5-in-1 styling treatment. I'm sure you guys have seen these. I've seen them on TikTok. People do get like the AliExpress ones or the Alibaba ones. I do not want to get one because I've heard of them catching on fire. So I'm like, yeah, no, that does not sound safe. So there's a power button. So let's see, we're gonna put this guy in here, and I believe you put it in so you can see it has like a lock option. So you put it in and then twist. There we go. So power, there's a cool setting. Oh, so you hold it to turn it off. Okay, so it feels really powerful, but it's not super loud. So I do like that. It is similar to the Dyson in that way. I don't know if it's quite as quiet as the Dyson, but it's definitely more quiet than my other hairdryer, and it seems to be a lot more powerful. So off the bat, I'm pretty impressed. I do like that. Also, the other thing I wanted to mention is you have your cool setting, your fan setting, and your heat settings. You can adjust how hot it goes. So there are 3 heat settings for that. So you can do a low heat, a medium heat, or a high heat. I typically like to keep mine on medium. That's always how I've done it with my hair dryers, but then a high fan, or like high dry. One thing I did notice that I was a little confused by is you do have to hold the button to turn it off, so like just for like 1 or 2 seconds. So to turn it on, and then to turn it off. But this is super powerful, so I do like it so far. I'm just gonna dry it so it's most of the way dry. I know that your hair does have to be quite dry for these to hook on to them. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep drying. We're gonna move on to the curls. I do know you want it pretty much mostly dry when it comes to doing the curls so that the barrel can wrap it. You could probably do this on just like dry hair, but I did want to see how everything worked. I do like to section my hair, so I forgot to say my hair type. So my hair is naturally super straight, like stick straight. I don't really have any curl. I have a lot of hair, but it's fine, so it gets tangled easily. That's why I don't typically like to brush it when it's wet. That's one thing I've learned, because it's just so tangled when it's wet that I just don't even touch it with a brush until it's dry, pretty much. At least I try not to. Anyways, we're gonna move on to the curling. So you're gonna push, oh, and then just twist it off. That was easy. I thought that was gonna be like harder. I was worried about breaking it. And then let's see, so we're gonna start with the barrels. So what I like to do to make sure it's facing the way I want is look at where the arrow's pointing, because sometimes you look at it and you're like, oh wait, I don't know. Hold it up to a mirror, and if you want it to point away from your face, if you want the curls to go away from your face. So just look at where the arrow's pointing. So I'm gonna start on this side, that's what I wanna do, and then we're just gonna push it down and then twist slightly, and you'll hear a little click. I'm so excited. I'm a little nervous for some reason. Okay, so let's start. Then I switch to cool, and then release. So that turned out okay. It is possible that I dried it too much, so let me just spray. I just totally sprayed my face with that. Whoops. Just a little on there, just to get a little bit of moisture back in, and see if that helps. I have also done it when I used the Dyson. I wrapped it around when I used my mom's, so. But I do want to try it the way everyone else does, so that's what we're doing. Ooh, that's a really good curl. Okay, that's much better. And I've heard people pin them. I'm gonna try not and see how they last. I've heard they do last better when you pin them, but I just wanna try this way because I don't normally pin my curls when I use a curling iron. So yeah, we're just gonna keep trying it, see how it goes.
So one thing I did want to point out, as you can see, it's kind of having trouble wrapping. As I have used this in the future, you need to not use it on such a high fan setting. So using it on like the lower or medium fan setting, it wraps much better. I think it's super powerful, so when the air is too high, it's not totally gonna wrap it because the hair is just going to be flying. I've also found that using more product works a lot better with this because it has something to grip to and it stays a lot better. And I feel like it curls tighter as well. So those are some tips that I have with this.
Ooh, that's like the best curl yet. Okay. I feel like it just takes a little bit of like getting used to. A little bit of trial and error. You also want to make sure your sections aren't too thick, which unfortunately for me, with my hair being, there's so much of it, that's one thing I have noticed. So try to make it, each piece you use like on the thinner side. So for the sake of the video, I am going to try it the way that I used my mom's Dyson. And that was by using it kind of like a wand, because we've kind of seen how it works with that, but I feel like that might take too long. I also didn't like it when I did it that way with the Dyson because it just took forever. But so far they feel super similar. I like that the barrels are longer, so I just switched directions because I like to tip the wand upside down to use, so to make sure it's still going away from my face, I just switched it. So we're gonna try it this way. I feel like that was faster, so I feel like that's how I'm gonna continue to do the curls. So it seems like it's having a little bit of trouble like grabbing the hair and keeping it in. So I'm gonna try this side, and I'm also gonna spray more water because that could be an issue with it. And I'm gonna finish this side and see if that goes a little bit better than this side, but I'll be right back. So I do feel like it's giving more of like a wave than a curl. I did realize that when I did use the Dyson, or my mom's Dyson, I was using it on just straight wet hair. Like I didn't blow dry it or anything, it was just super wet. I think that could be the reason why it curled so well, which is bad for your hair. It shouldn't be just wet on a hot iron. Like that doesn't work, which this is still, like you can touch it, it's not too hot. This section has a little bit more wetness to it. I do think it's possible that I dried it too much, and that's why it's not holding as well, because I have seen a lot of people use this and it held theirs better, but my hair is, like I said, pretty thick, so it can be a little unmanageable, but let's try it again on this side. So that curled way better, as you can see. I think the key is not drying it too much. I dried it way too much. So don't make the same mistake as I did. This one is still pretty damp. This hair was more wet, so we're gonna see how this does. I have noticed that the ends do need to have more moisture to them for it to wrap around and really stay, so we're gonna keep going. Yeah, that's so much better. Okay, so it just needs to be more wet. I'm glad we tried a few different things. I always think it's good to do a little trial and error, so it does not work very well on dry hair. So, which the Dyson didn't either for me. So I feel like these products, I feel like it's very similar to the Dyson though, and I'm not just saying that because I have used both. Like the same struggles that I've noticed with this, I noticed with the Dyson as well, but this one does seem to grab the hair well. It just, like I said, it has to be wet enough. Otherwise, it's not gonna work.
So like I said before, having it be more damp does help quite a bit, but you do want to make sure that you do have some product on there. I didn't have that much product on there. A mousse helps a ton, and you also want to make sure that the product gets, or that the hair gets hot enough, and then you do the cool shot as well, which is what I've been doing the whole time. But those things help a ton with the curls. Like I said, this is going to be a trial and error. It does take patience, just like the Dyson. But yeah, those are my thoughts. So yeah.
Okay, so the way that I'm noticing the biggest success, because down here it's still pretty, it's just more of like a blowout type of wave. But if you want it to be more ringlet style, like you want it to be an actual curl, the way that I'm noticing the more success, or the most success is when it is on wetter hair. And you wrap it around like you would a wand, so like this. So you can see it's more of a curl, which I noticed the same thing when I used the Dyson. I think my hair...
Another mistake I made right here is brushing out the curl too early. That is going to cause it to loosen up and it won't stay. So don't do what I just did.
So I think what I'm still gonna go for is more of that blowout look. I feel like I do wanna try this pinning the curls, because I've heard the same thing with the Dyson, is that the curls don't hold quite as well, which I did just brush that out, but like I said, I'm gonna go for more of a blowout look, I think. Okay, so you can kind of see how it's coming. So it does take a little trial and error. It's definitely more of like the blow dried waves than the curls, but And the only way I was able to get the curls with the Dyson was when my hair was sopping wet, which like I said, I don't think is good for it. I don't think you should use sopping wet hair on these barrels. But I do think like damp hair, but it does seem like the more wet they are, the better they curl. And I do think if you pinned them, you could get some really nice waves. So for the fronts of the hair, I'm gonna use this, like for my curtain bangs. These did get quite dry while drying my hair, so I just sprayed it with some water and then I'm gonna go back in. So these did get quite dry while doing it, so I wouldn't, in the future, I wouldn't dry my hair as much as I did. Yeah. So in the future, I wouldn't dry my hair as much as I did. I don't think it needed that much, but you know, you live and you learn. But yes, I do think this product does take some getting used to, but I do feel like it works well. Like we do have some beautiful blowout waves, so I feel like it's kind of giving like some Blake Lively vibes. But I did feel like the wand technique worked much better than the others, so yeah. Okay, I feel like that actually looks really, really nice. We just have some soft blowout waves. Okay, I feel like it did a really good job with my curtain bangs. Mine are longer, so they are gonna hang a little lower, but that looks really, really nice. I'm looking in the mirror I have right here, but that looks really nice. I'm really liking how this is looking. So I'm gonna finish this side and then I will be back. Alrighty, so it's definitely less curly than I thought it would be, but I actually think the finished result looks so beautiful. Like I feel like these waves look really nice. Like I said, it's definitely a learning curve. I would say though that it works exactly the same as the Dyson, at least from what I used. The only thing is I did notice that sometimes the ends have trouble catching. From what I remember, it was the same way with the Dyson. I do think it could be that my hair is just a little bit heavy for this product. Same with the Dyson, like it could just be my hair texture. I do feel like thinner hair, or if your hair is not as heavy, if you don't have as much hair as me, I feel like it would work amazing for you and you could get really great tighter curls. But for me, I feel like this is kind of what I am going to get, which is more of like a blowout look, which I'm totally fine with. I really like this. I feel like this is something I could never get with a hairdryer. I always hate, like the thing I hate is using two different things, like a hairdryer and a brush. Like I don't want to have to be worrying about holding two things, blowing the air correctly. Like that's just never gonna be me. And yeah, I'm also not a hairstylist. I forgot to mention that, but I'm not a hairstylist. But I do feel like everything turned out really nice. I do like how it looks. It's like really pretty and flippy. I'm excited to use the other attachments. Like I said, this one is a straightener. I did brush my hair with this, so I have hairs in it, but this one is used as a straightener, so I feel like you'll get really nice sleek waves. I feel like my hair looks very shiny. I do really like it. Like I said, I couldn't get this with any other tool. Like I can't get this look with a hairdryer, so I do really like this. This I did use for my bangs, but I found that I wanted just a little more curl, so I did end up using this. But I feel like this, you could get some really pretty flippy waves. Like if you wanted something a little more loose than this, I feel like this would be perfect. I'm just gonna brush through a little bit so you can kind of see what I'm saying. But it did work really well. I do feel like I should have let it be a little bit more wet. I feel like having my hair be too a little more on the dry side, it didn't catch or grip as well.